So the problem for many really hardworking, high-performing people is that they're operating at a much higher level, but their salary has never really caught up. So you're operating here, your salary should be at least here or even here, but you're getting paid at this level. So the problem is that your salary has not even caught up to this point. So how can you get it to this point? I want to talk a bit about what not to do, and that is staying at the company you are working for now for too long. Too long is, of course, relative. You might be among those lucky people who really love working at your company. You have a great working environment and great colleagues, etc. But unfortunately, the bad news is if what you're after is a significant salary increase, that might not happen if you continue to stay at your current company. You might get a raise from year to year or even every 6 months, but usually that raise would be pretty contained within a range of 5 to 10%. Unless you get promoted, then of course it is likely that you'll be able to get a bigger salary raise. But even in that case, there will be some kind of cap, but I'll talk more about that later. So let's get back to the average salary raise that you can realistically expect. And for that, I want to share with you this article from Investopedia, which is titled Salary Secrets, What is Considered a Big Raise? And I want to read out to you this section on average pay increases. If you want to read the whole article, I will leave the link in the descriptions down below and you can check it out for yourself. So this is what I want to focus on. If we look at average pay increases. To answer that, let's put things in perspective. The average pay raise in 2019 is expected to be about 3.1%. Note that, 3.1% only. The highest since 2008. So note here, this is even on the high side, according to professional services firm Aon's annual survey on US salary increases. And I would expect that this would be similar in Canada as well, which is based on responses from over 1,000 companies. So here we're just talking about the base salary. I'm not taking into account any bonuses or commissions that you might get. So if we just look at this single number, 3.1%, we can see that it is very low. Of course, this is just an average. We don't know what the minimum and the maximum is. But if the lower range could go as low as, let's say, 0.5% to 1% salary increase, that would be weird. Then the upper range might be something like 5 to 10%, which is okay, but might not be what you're after. A little disclaimer up front. For those of you who have been watching my videos for a while, you might know that my channel is actually not about climbing the corporate ladder. It's not about chasing, going after the next promotion, getting the next salary raise. This channel is about so much more. It's about figuring out what it is that you truly love doing. It's about finding out what the best possible career for yourself is and how you can get there. Well, then you might ask, why make this video then? And the reason is because I realized from my own experience that even though you have this vision for your ideal career, you have these long-term goals, sometimes in the short term, in the medium term, you just need to hang in there. If you're going to be an employee anyway for the next 5 or even 10 years, then at least don't leave any money on the table. By the way, if you're not subscribed yet and you don't want to miss out on any of my future videos, then make sure that you hit the subscribe button. And in that case, please do me a favor and go down to your notification settings and make sure that it's set to all notifications so that YouTube will notify you of each and every single upload. So let's scroll down further here to this interesting section about the effect of job switching. With few exceptions, maximizing your earnings over a long period of time usually means changing jobs rather than staying in place. It used to be that jumping ship meant landing a salary 10% to 20% higher. Note that this is significantly higher than the 3.1% mentioned earlier, 10 to 20% higher than your previous one. While increases of that size aren't as widespread as they used to be, switching jobs is still the most common path to the best pay raise. If you stay at the same organization, your annual increases may be restricted by your current base salary because companies have a narrow percentage range within which they can boost your pay. But if you're negotiating with a different firm, you're not bound by those restrictions. The key is to prove that you're worth the salary you're asking for. And this brings me back to a point that I talked about earlier. If you stay at the same company, it will be very difficult to get a salary increase because even though your supervisor, your manager is really impressed with your work and they fight for you to get a salary increase, sometimes it can simply not happen because of the limitations set by HR. Not only do they have a fixed salary range for each position, but usually they would also have rules and guidelines on how much the percentage increase per year or per half year can be for each employee. Before I continue, if you found this video useful so far, then do hit the like button. That will definitely help the YouTube algorithm to push this video out to more people. You might have heard this advice before, that if you want your salary to grow rapidly, you need to renegotiate your salary latest every 6 months. And I think this is very good advice. However, this advice is still flawed if your goal is to get a significant salary increase of 50 or 100%. And the reason is, as I mentioned earlier, because within a company, the percentage increase that the company can give you each year or every half year is capped. So it would be very, very rare that within your same company, you could get a salary increase of even 30%, 50% in one go. And then there's also advice that says that when you're negotiating your salary with a company, you need to convince them of all the things, all the value, the contributions that you can make for the company. But here's the reason why this oftentimes doesn't work, and please let me know in the comments if you relate to this. Let's just say you're a marketing manager and you're earning $65,000 per year. I'm just making this up. I don't know what the exact number is. So let's say you're earning $65,000 and you're one of those hardworking people who always put in their best and perform above average. So although you're in this position of marketing manager performing all these duties, A until J, it is very likely that you're already working beyond your scope. It is very likely that you're not only doing A to J, but you're also doing K, L, M, N, O, P, and so on. And the big problem is that oftentimes corporations take this for granted. Their employees do more than is written in their job scope, in their job descriptions, but they never compensated the employee with an adequate salary increase. Of course, there are always exceptions. There will always be companies out there who treat their employees really fairly and compensate them adequately. And if you're working for this kind of company, if you feel that you're getting paid what you deserve, then please let me know in the comments below. So the problem for many really hardworking, high-performing people is that they're operating at a much higher level, but their salary has never really caught up. So you're operating here, your salary should be at least here or even here, but you're getting paid at this level. So the problem is that your salary has not even caught up to this point. So how can you get it to this point? I'm trying to look at this from a psychological point of view. So in the early example, your company is paying you $65,000, but actually you're already performing at the level of a person who's supposed to get $80,000. But because you've already been doing this extra work all the time, because you've already been overperforming all this while, from the company standpoint, it could be like, why do I need to increase this person's salary? They are already performing where I want them to perform at. Okay, this can be a much longer discussion and there are so many nuances and exceptions to this, so I won't go into this any further. But the point here is that if you want to get a significant salary increase of at least 50% or even 100%, then your best bet is to get out of the company. You need to look out. Hey, if you enjoyed my content so far and if you want to support this channel, you can do so by either hitting the like button, leaving a comment down below, or you can even buy me a coffee through the link in the descriptions below. Thanks so much for watching and I'll see you again next time.